More than 50,000 years ago, somewhere in the wilderness of prehistoric Earth, a human vanished. No battle, no predator attack, no natural disaster. One moment, they were walking with their tribe. The next, they were completely alone. At first, this might not sound unusual. People get separated all the time. But for ancient humans, being alone wasn't just dangerous. It could be a death sentence. And that's what makes one question so fascinating. What actually happened if you lost your tribe in prehistory? The answer reveals something surprising about how humans survived one of the most dangerous worlds our species has ever faced. In 2010, archaeologists studying ancient hunter-gatherer camps noticed something strange. Nearly every prehistoric campsite showed evidence of groups. Multiple sleeping areas, shared fireplaces, shared tools, shared food. Again and again, the evidence revealed the same pattern. Humans didn't live alone. They survived together. At first, the reason seemed obvious. Ancient landscapes were full of threats. Lions, hyenas, wolves, leopards. A single person had little chance against predators that hunted every day. But there was a problem. Other animals faced the same dangers, yet many survived alone. Why were humans different? The answer began with a weakness hidden inside the human body. Compared to many animals, humans are surprisingly slow. We don't have claws. We don't have sharp teeth. We can't outrun most predators. An isolated human wasn't simply vulnerable. They were missing the one advantage that made survival possible: other people. And that created a terrifying reality. Imagine waking up one morning and realizing your tribe is gone. No one to help gather food. No one to share information. No one to watch for danger while you sleep. No one to help if you get injured. Suddenly, every task becomes harder, and every mistake becomes fatal. But then, scientists discovered something unexpected. The greatest threat wasn't predators. It was hunger. Archaeological evidence suggests that prehistoric hunter-gatherers depended heavily on shared knowledge. Different people remember different water sources, different migration routes, different seasonal foods, different dangers. Knowledge itself was spread across the group. Lose the group, and you didn't just lose protection. You lost information. And that's where things get strange. Researchers studying modern hunter-gatherer societies found that individuals separated from their communities often struggle to locate resources that groups find easily. Not because the resources disappear, because survival knowledge is collective. No single person knows everything. The consequence was enormous. A lone human could walk directly past food, water, or shelter without realizing it. Every day alone increased the chance of starvation. The answer seemed obvious. If losing your tribe was so dangerous, then anyone who became separated must have died quickly. But the evidence didn't fit. Because archaeology contains clues that some people survived isolation far longer than expected. And those clues reveal one of the most remarkable survival strategies in human history. Somehow, certain individuals managed to stay alive even after losing everything that should have kept them alive. The question was how? And the answer may explain why humans eventually spread across nearly every environment on Earth. Because being alone wasn't always the end of the story. Sometimes it was only the beginning of a much bigger mystery. For years,
Scientists assumed that a person separated from their tribe had almost no chance of survival. But then, evidence from ancient migration patterns revealed something unexpected. Prehistoric humans weren't living as isolated tribes scattered across the landscape. Many groups were connected, sometimes over vast distances. People traded tools, shared information, met during seasonal gatherings, and occasionally welcomed outsiders.
That changed everything. A lost individual wasn't always searching for their original tribe. Sometimes they were searching for any tribe. The survival impact was enormous. A person wandering alone still faced hunger, predators, and exposure. But if they could reach another group before those dangers caught up with them, they had a chance. And this created a surprising twist. The human survival strategy was never about being strong enough to survive alone. It was about building networks so powerful that being alone didn't have to last forever. In other words, the real survival tool wasn't a spear. It wasn't fire. It wasn't even intelligence. It was connection. The ability to cooperate with strangers, to share resources, to accept newcomers, to create communities larger than a single family. When all the clues are put together, the mystery finally makes sense. If you lost your tribe in prehistory, your odds of survival dropped dramatically. Many probably never made it home. But the people who did survive often relied on something uniquely human: the willingness of other humans to help. And that may be the most important lesson hidden in humanity's distant past. The species that conquered deserts, forests, mountains, and ice ages wasn't the fastest or strongest creature on Earth. It was the one that learned a simple truth. Alone, a human was vulnerable. Together, humans became unstoppable.